This is a terrible title, which is difficult to get correct. It's S with a bunch of H's after it. According to the book's title page, there are 6 H's. According to the cover, there are 7. That just proves it's a bad title. It's so confusing, they couldn't even get it right on the cover.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
In the throwaway mystery, the high school basketball team has a practice game against adult prisoners. Frank is in a tiger costume. He distracts everyone by doing cartwheels. The prisoners start laughing and cheering for him. I had no idea that prisoners were such big fans of high school mascots. Joe enters the shower area, where a guard is setting a bomb. Frank comes in to help, which is a little odd. Who's distracting everyone if Frank isn't there? Are we supposed to assume the team won't notice the mascot and star player are missing? Luckily for our heroes, the culprit is scared of tigers, so he falls down and surrenders immediately. That is convenient. At home, Mom leaves for a librarian conference. Aunt Trudy does a yard sale and yells at strangers. Scooby-Doo is one of the people at the yard sale, for some reason. I sure hope the Hardys don't get sued for that. ATAC gives the Hardys their next mission through Lindsay from graphic novel 13. She's so cute and friendly and sarcastic. It's great. She should totally date one of the Hardy Boys and go on missions with him. I would love that. The mission is to protect some young kids. 3 random villains want to kidnap them to get at their father. The spy gadgets today are a taser and a flashlight in book format. Yes, there is a book that electrocutes people. I hope the Hardys don't open it by accident. The Hardys decide to entertain the kids by taking them to the coolest place in Washington, D.C., the National Library of Education. I'm not joking, they think the teacher's library will entertain the kids all day. Have the Hardys met children before? Mom visits the exact same library, and the Hardys worry she'll see them. Sadly, they are too stupid to think of the obvious solution: go somewhere else. A super hot librarian takes them on a tour where a culprit pushes a bookshelf on them. Luckily, one of the shelves just happens to be empty, so when it falls on them, they're not hurt. Joe chases after the culprits. He easily fights both of them. While saying vaguely witty things, one of the culprits is defeated, and the third culprit pulls out a gun. He forces Frank and the kids into a storage room. There are multiple people in the background, but none of them notice the hostage situation. Frank defeats the culprit by dropping the electrical book. I don't know how. Frank was not holding the book. In fact, he was walking with his hands in the air, so he couldn't have taken the book from anywhere. The book just magically appears in Frank's hands when he needs a convenient escape. Joe appears, and the third culprit turns off the lights. The hot librarian pulls the fire alarm, which is enough to stop the kidnapping assassin. He was seconds away from killing his targets, but fire safety comes first. Everyone leaves the building. Mom almost sees the Hardys for the first and only time. I think it's safe to say the build-up for the mom storyline was longer than the storyline itself. The book skips ahead an unspecified period of time to when the kids are wrapped in blankets and being taken to the hospital. It's never explained why. The kids were never hurt at any point. Well, the third culprit reappears and hijacks the ambulance. He drives it for a bit, then stops and opens the back doors. Even though the Hardys were on foot, they somehow managed to beat him there. They place the second attack book on the ground of the ambulance. It shines a light in the culprit's eyes, knocking him out. We finish with a joke that libraries are not safe and boring. Ha ha ha. In the 2-page epilogue, Mrs. Hardy introduces President Barack Obama. Here's the entire scene. It's the president, from a distance, quoting a real-life speech word for word. It makes no sense for the Hardys to spend the entire book hiding from Mom, only to go to her event at the very end. The end. Post-book follow-up. This book was kind of bad. The first chunk was good. The basketball thing was entertaining, even if it made little sense. Aunt Trudy and Lindsay were great. But then ATAC revealed the mission is babysitting, and their spy gadgets are books. The book went downhill from there. It's mostly unrelated action scenes. The Hardys fight unnamed bad guys, and twice they win because a magic book appears out of nowhere. The characters act like a library adventure was a super cool idea, but it's not actually that great, and it's not the famous library in Washington, D.C. either. As the name indicates, the National Library of Education is mostly about education. It's not mostly coloring books and comic books, like the kids claim. This book says the rooms are soundproof, which is why nobody hears them getting into fights. As far as I can tell, the rooms are not soundproofed in real life, and it's still a stretch to say nobody noticed the entire library bookcase fell over. Overall, the book is fine if you like mindless action scenes. I'm generally fine with mindless action in the 1980s Hardy Boys Case Files series, but I thought this one was just bad. I give Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers graphic novel number 16, Shhhhhh, a 2 out of 10.